Hi, I'm Antony Worrall Thompson, and welcome to my kitchen. Chop it up a little bit, pop it in the oven, and then fold in the chocolate. Roughly 18 to 20 minutes. It's a good recipe to get the kids involved. It's pretty easy, isn't it? Nice and smooth. Perfect. Now today I'm going to be making a delicious dessert recipe using Splenda low-calorie sweetener as an alternative to sugar. Perfect for anyone with an incurably sweet tooth but wanting to have a healthier diet. This delicious chocolate mousse cake is truly a mouth-watering treat. A densely chocolatey pudding. It's dotted with liqueur-steeped prunes, which means there's no need to have lots of sugar. Here I've got some 70% cocoa solid, dark chocolate, beautiful chocolate. Here I've got some raspberries. I've got a little bit of cocoa powder there, which I'm going to dust over the top afterwards. Some unsalted butter, some orange liqueur, of course. We've got Splenda. And eggs, which I'm going to separate into yolks and whites. And finally, I've got some prunes, which I'm going to steep in the orange liqueur. So let's get on with the recipe. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually take these prunes, and I'm going to take a bit of orange liqueur, about 2 tablespoons, and just pop that in there, like that, with about a little bit of, just about another tablespoon of water, something like that, okay? And then we're going to go over to the stove and just tip them into a little saucepan like that, put them over the heat, and literally we just want to bring those gently up to the boil, no more, then we take them off straight away. And whilst that's happening, we can also get our chocolate. So chocolate there, nice amount of chocolate just broken up into cubes. I'm going to put some butter in there, and then just take that back to the cooker and just put it over some mildly simmering water and let that melt. I always find the best way of separating eggs is actually not to separate them to start with, if you get my drift, and that is just popping that in there like that and then lifting out the yolk like that. Because if you go backwards and forwards, you've got some sharp edges here, and you can sort of puncture it, okay? It's okay if the eggs are nice and fresh. If they're a little bit old, which they shouldn't be, of course, you'll find the whites are very thin and may cause a little bit of egg yolks coming together like with the egg whites, which we don't want. This is very easy, as long as you're not squeamish about touching eggs, which I'm not, of course. And then we're going to take our Splenda now, about 4 tablespoons, just into the egg yolks, 4 tablespoons, like so. And then we just get our whisk and just whisk it until the egg yolks become nice and pale. So then we're going to just whisk up the egg whites. Remember, with egg whites, nice clean bowl. Make sure they're room temperature ideally. Right, so I've got my chocolate, I've got my prunes, I've got my egg yolks mixed up with the Splenda, and I've got my egg whites. So you've got all your components are ready now to put the cake together. So you can see from the chocolate there, the butter's quite greasy on the top, and when we give it a little stir now, that will all come together in a nice glossy, like that, nice and glossy, perfectly smooth, no graininess to it. Always melt your chocolate over, nothing too hot. Okay. The prunes with the liqueur, any liqueur that's in there as well, just fold that in there like that. And then fold in the chocolate. You can see this is very delicious. It's perfect fodder for licking the bowl, as we say when we were children. So we're pretty well ready to fold in some of the egg whites now. Usually we call it fold in about 1/3, or a nice big spoon like that, just to sort of slacken the mixture. And it doesn't matter at this stage how aggressive you are with your folding. Once you get the rest in, you want to be a little bit more delicate. And there you have it. Look at that. Really nice and moussey. Perfect. Ready for folding into our springform tin. About a 20 centimetre springform tin, which we've just lined the bottom with parchment paper. We've just lightly greased the side of the tin. It is a non-stick tin anyway, so bit of luck, that's all ready to go. So we just pour that mixture in. A little shimmy. The oven is set at 160 degrees. Take a little flat roasting tray. I always think sometimes as these tins get older, the spring becomes a little bit weaker and you can have nasty accidents. So I always put it into a baking tray to make sure there's no accidents. Into the oven, and that's going to take roughly 18 to 20 minutes. It's not going to be like a normal cake where you put something in and it comes out dry. It's going to have a little wobble on it. That's what we want. We can either serve it warm or at room temperature, but I don't suggest cold. Okay, I've allowed the cake to cool down. When it first comes out of the oven, it's obviously quite wobbly, but once it cools down, it firms up because the chocolate and the butter are sort of setting like beautifully. Now we're going to just do a very simple decoration. I'm going to take a little bit of cocoa powder and just pop that over the top like that. You could just leave it like that, but I think it's quite nice with a few raspberries as well. So we just take a few. You can just, I mean, if you want to be all posy, feel free and to decorate all in lines and things like that, but I am actually very much into my rustic looks nowadays, both my body and my cake. So this is how I would just decorate it like that. Very simple, looks country, looks homemade. Perfect, a lovely chocolate mousse cake. But shall we have a slice of it? I think we should. Plate. Just cut into that. Beautiful. So just lift that off like that. Beautiful. A couple more raspberries on the side. You know what chefs are like. We like to decorate the plate slightly. Hey, I think that's good enough for anyone to eat. And you can see this recipe and loads more in my new cookbook, The Sweet Life, 101 indulgent recipes with less sugar. Now you can also visit www.splendor.co.uk for more delicious recipes and top tips on using Splendor for low calorie.